welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition. Choir Boys Cutler Outdoors, a Alfa Knives Bowie rendition, if you will. Now, here's the deal. Alfa Knives, A-L-F-A, is owned by Damon Lusky. And guys, the guy can make a damn knife. This is 8670. Let me give you some quick specs, and then we'll do our intro. It's 8670 is the steel. The overall length is 15 1/8 inches. The blade length is 10 inches. The cutting edge is 8 3/4. The blade width is 1 13/16. The blade thickness, now this is interesting, it starts at 3/16 blade stock at the handle, and then it tapers down to an 1/8 and on down lower than that. The handle is a camo micarta pattern. And I got to say real quick, that is not Damascus. It is, again, the steel here is 8670. That is acid etched. That is an actual hamon. However, now, the handle length is 5 1/8 inches. The inner grip, which is very, very important, is 4 1/8. So it will accommodate 99% of the population's hand. The handle thickness is 5/8, and the handle width is 1 1/4 inches. So you can see it's very, very, very conducive to the user. Now, there's the balance point there. Guys, before we get real far into this, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. The main thing is this, vets. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. We love you. You're welcome. You have a place here. You're welcome here. We're back to Blue over here with Sport Leo, all to the chagrin of many. How you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law, and when we do, because those scabbers been known to, we take responsibility for it. And finally, if you're an addict, never quit quitting. So I've told y'all, if you look up Damon Lusky, who is the owner of Alfa Knives, I believe, and I may be wrong, but I believe he holds a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Martial arts are his thing, and you can tell that in every single knife he makes. They're all well balanced. Now, I do want to talk about this before I forget. The blade stock here starts at 3/16 and then tapers down, right? Damon is a believer that you don't have to have sharpened pry bars for it to be strong and durable. And I want y'all to pay attention during this video, because he proves that quite well. And I can say this, I'll put my name on any Alfa knife. The guy has proven it consistently, time and time again. Just every knife that he does is well balanced, it's well made, it's incredibly strong, it's incredibly durable, and it's a hell of a knife. Now, here's the thing. I had mentioned it's 8670, so I did a little looking up. The steel 8670 is used extensively in the lumber industry for making large circular saw blades. The nickel adds toughness, and there is enough carbon for good edge holding. Not enough nickel to make a good shiny layer of Damascus. All right, well, that kind of answers that. And they said you want to think of 8670 as an improved version of 5160. Extreme toughness and good edge holding. And let me just say this. Please keep track of everything we cut and everything we do. It's edge geometry, right? And it's heat treat that really matter in cutting and making the edge and all that. And somebody will disagree, and that's fine. But here's the truth. That steel belted sandblast hose, we stab a steel belted tire. At the opening, we cut a steel belted tire. We cut ratchet strap, all kind of hose, and we chop. At the end, we're going to chop a 4-inch diameter piece of hardwood, and we'll talk about that there. At the end of this thing, this knife cuts paper just about as good as it did at the beginning. This is an insane edge, and it is light, it is fast. I went over to Kirk's, went to the studio. Now, we're going to have a full work day there today. By the time this is airing, it should be Saturday. We're going to have a full work day there today, right? Here's the deal. Kirk's not a big knife guy. He's just not. That 5 to 6 inches is about as big as he likes to go. He absolutely loves this knife because it's a balance point, it's light, it's fast, and the truth is, it's gorgeous. Now, people ask 2 things. Will it strike ferro rod? Well, no. It does not have a 90-degree spine. It's rounded, and again, goes back to, I believe, Damon's fighting background. He makes these knives. You can double them. Yes, they're great for self-defense before anyone asks. Is it easy to sharpen? Yeah, it's a high carbon steel. So it's good to sharpen in the field. Now right here, what we're doing, this is a bunch of fat wood that I have. I'm going to use it today or for my camp out tonight. So I wanted to process a bunch. I also wanted to do this to do some smaller stuff. Yeah, we can baton huge logs, and we do. We do a lot of stuff. But this knife was able to process just some quick bumps. It sliced right through all this stuff. And again, this is fat wood. I'll give you a good look at it here in a minute. But I wanted to get about 8 or 9 just good sticks. It matches, if you will, of fat wood. I wanted to get those ready for the fire so I can keep them going and start it at a minute's notice, that kind of thing. The knife had zero problem. I believe, and JR can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe JR had requested Damon go about a 1/4 inch bigger on his handles, and it seems like he's done that because these damn things are perfect to fit in hand. You see it's got a nice generous choil there, and when you go to that fencing grip, man, it's insane. It's just, this is, and I say this every damn Alfa knife, but I think this is my new favorite, at least until the next one. Why? Because they perform. And again, we don't worry much about fit and finish, but I got to be honest with you. We do talk about function. The acid etch that Damon puts on there it's yet in the 5 or 6 knives we've done now, it's yet to sustain any damage. It's done really, really well. The edge, I'm just telling you, I'm blown away. Now, this is the John Peter stab test. We're going to cut the tire. That's the sidewall of an old truck. I try to keep as much of this stuff around as I can. And basically, we're going to do some 6 to 8 inch punches. I like doing this to test out the tip, right? Comfort in hand, to see if there's any hot spots in the handle. Also to see if there's any jarring or loosening of the handle scales. Everything stays on very, very well. And again, aesthetically, although that's not really what we base the channel on, aesthetically, these are some of the most beautiful knives I've demonstrated. That hamon is real, and it's straight up badass. There's a good look. There's old Scabber's hand. I try to delete that out, but now that's not blood on my hand. Now, that's not to say I don't cut myself about every day, but that's not blood. That's paint from work. Praise the Lord. This is that 1 inch sandblast hose. Y'all all know it. You love it well. It's also steel belted. Again, guys, please pay attention to how much we cut throughout this video. That's what these videos are. They're demonstrations, especially of an idiot with a knife. Now, right here, about once or twice a video, I'll go into straight brain fart mode. It took me a second. I'm not as close to that knife as it looks, so please just bear that in mind. The knife is insanely sharp. It starts off sharp and it ends sharp. I want y'all to watch a couple things now. We go back, we pick it up, zip, gone. In a second, I'm going to pick up that sandblast hose. Now, that stump right there is Garen's. I'm going to run it to him in the morning, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. But I'm going to pick up a piece of that sandblast hose here in a minute. Right here, fight through all the stuff. Y'all watch this. Look at that. Like butter, son. I mean, and screwed my car up in the process. Really happy. Not too bad. Now, watch this, cause some of the wood I'm going to burn tomorrow. Look at that thing slice. This thing is a slicing machine. The blade width, again, is almost 2 inches. It's like 1 13/16, something like that. So it's a wide, it's conducive. This knife is conducive for everything. I'll just go ahead and tell you. We're going to do some batoning, and then we're going to do some chopping. And then I stabbed the tire at the first of this video, but stabbing the tire while I was out there at the studio. I like adding that at the beginning just to get your attention. You know, old Scab cinematographer, got it working there. Here we're doing the vertical batoning like Grugsy does. I always like doing that. Now, while I mention Grugs, Legion Tactical, let me do a few shout outs. Donnie B All Day, that's his channel name. Donnie B All Day, D-Bad, love that dude. Check him out. My brother from another mother, Joe, Steel Forged and Fire, Sword and Knife. Check him out. Awesome channel, great content, great dude too. All these guys are. Of course, Grugsy, Legion Tactical. My boy Pistol Pete, awesome content. He does a lot of the same stuff we do. A lot of chopping, a lot of testing, a lot of demos. You'll like him. Angry Dracolope's an awesome guy. And then Charles Jones, the Redneck Nerd. And I got a special one right here, guys. DC Outdoors. DC Outdoors. pinned one of his videos in my community post. Please check that out. He's close to 1,000. Y'all know we like pushing there. Now, this is about a 3.5 or 4 inch diameter piece of hardwood. Not sure what it is. It's not oak, but this shit's harder than a brick bat. And what I'm going to do, I have a diameter tape from back a couple hurricanes ago when I worked with FEMA. I'm going to actually go and pull the diameter of this thing. Now, it takes about 3.5 minutes to chop. Had I laid this out horizontally, I could have probably got down with the get down. But that's really, I may do that before I send these back. But here's the thing. Remember how we talked about Damon didn't feel like you needed, a 1/4 inch or you needed a pry bar? Well, right here, guys, now I'm just slamming the knife into this, and I'll have you what type of tree it is. It's definitely a hardwood. It's dried out, but it hadn't rotted at all, as you can tell. And I'm going to shut up here for a minute. Let's see if we can hear some chops.
Is that the Alfa? Yeah.
Pretty good swings there by old Scabber. Part of the reason I do this, guys, and I had somebody go, dude, your edge angles, shut up. God almighty, just watch the video, dude. I'm not doing this for time. I'm doing this to show the knife working. We're hitting hard. Sometimes we hit flat. Sometimes we take it. It's not for time. It's to put as much pressure as we can on the edge of this 8670. That's what I want to do. I told y'all in a video yesterday, I'm not here to sell the damn knife. It's not what I'm doing. I'm demonstrating and reviewing. But I believe this knife should sell itself. We're letting the knife work. We're hitting it flat. We're hitting it straight on. We're taking some different angles. I'm praying to the Lord that it'll chop through at any moment. Got caught a couple times. And right here, you have to be careful with these things. You could chip, you could damage, you can roll that edge very, very, very easily if you're not careful. But here's the thing. The heat treat is so well done, and JR and I were messaging back and forth today, and he had a great point. So far, we've been able to review, I think, 4 different blade steels from Damon. He has crushed the heat treat on each one. He smoked this 8670, son. He's got it down pat. Now, if you want to find Damon, it's Old, OLDE, Town, TONE, Cutlery. I say that every Alfa video, and it's not Alfa like you think. It's ALFA knife. If you look them up on Instagram, ALFA knife. Guys, they're worth a look because the guy does just amazing. Here's the thing. I've gotten to where I just absolutely look forward to reviewing Damon's knives. Why? Because they're quality. There we go. Attaboy, Scabber. Lesser reviewer would have quit or sped it up on y'all. Not old Scabberoonie. No, sir. Now, guys, listen. This is walking straight in the door from the studio. This is insane. This, for a guy who stays impressed easily, I was very impressed. Now, here's what we did. After that, there's no stropping. I walked in after that paper. I stropped it twice on both sides. And watch this. That's insane, son. Alfa knives, ALFA. If they say you get what you pay for, son, I'm telling you right now, it's worth the money. Listen, JR, thank you so much, brother. Much love and appreciation. I'm Scab. You're not. Alfa knives kick ass, son. I'm gone.